Hello everyone, this is Kelvin here from Round and Search. It has been a while that we haven't uploaded any video because there's some changes in some of the terms and conditions and also regulation by the authorities. So that's why there are some changes on our video sharing, especially for the weekly POV that we share out weekly. So right now that one will only be sharing for my own broker side clients only. So if let's say you want to continue to enjoy this, you can also click on the link below in the description. There will be a terms and condition for the account opening and also for the account opening link. So from there you can do all the online registration on from there. So from there, once you have registered and then we found it, then we'll add you into the list for our weekly POV sharing as well. Okay. Alright, so today we'll be looking into some of this incident happens in these past 2 weeks, which is very interesting. I guess some of you might already heard of it, which is one stock that is in US, listed in US, it's called GameStop. So basically they are doing a lot of gaming and selling a lot of gaming of all these products. So the retail market, everyone is looking at this is a good stock because a lot of people have been stuck at home by COVID-19 and actually increased the sales of that company. And because of this, the price actually in the past 2 weeks was about $20. So right now the price has really moved up to a lot, and people are thinking that this stock will continue to move up higher. But for the hedge fund side, they think that the price is overvalued, and some of them actually start doing short selling in these stocks. So what is short selling? Short selling means that you sell a stock at a higher price first. Let's say right now the GameStop is at $20. So right now you want to sell it at this $20 first. So you borrow the shares from some others and sell it at $20. And expecting the price to go down lower, and you buy back at a lower price, and you can make the profit by selling high and buying back low. But what if the price goes up? Then you have to buy back at a higher price. That actually incur losses. And this actually happens in the current situation for GameStop. So there's a group of retail investors in this forum called Reddit. So they have a sub-forum called Wallstreetbets. So roughly about like 2 million followers from there. So every one of them, they are actually found that there's some hedge funds are going short selling for this stock called GameStop. So what they're going to do there is that they actually group up together and sending the price up higher. And the highest part that this stock goes is about $400 over within 2 weeks. So you can see there's about over 2,000 over percent of price increase within 2 weeks. So probably some of you might think that it's not a surprise in US market, but for Malaysia market, probably we need 1 year to move the price up to 200%. Okay, so what this happened is that they pushed the price up to about the highest one, about 430, around like 450 price level, but the price went back down lower. So actually make those hedge funds who did a short selling in this stock actually have to close their position, cut loss. Imagine if let's say they are short selling at $100 and right now the price goes up to 200 and 300, it's actually hit their cut loss. So that means that they need to buy back at 300, okay, or at the market price, and to cover their short position, which means they are losing $200 per share. So this incident actually result a few hedge funds actually losing a lot of money, especially there's one called Melvin Capital. So Melvin Capital actually had a short position, and then they have to close this short selling position and incur a losses that approximately, some say 1 billion, some say 3 billion. So up until the end of the day is a huge losses from there. So it's $1 billion, and some rumors saying that they are filing for bankruptcy. But Melvin Capital actually came out and say that they are not going into bankruptcy, so everything is okay from there. So of course, I believe a lot of people will get inspired by this kind of incident where the retailer group together. It's something like a David and Goliath kind of story, which a lot of retail investors in the market, they got frustrated of all these big boys, especially for our viewers also. You know that we always look into the big boys, how they react to all these price action and stuff. So right now, people are grouping together and creating the same thing, copy and paste the same thing from the Wallstreetbets, okay? And some even say this is like a revenge or maybe like another type of Wall Street in the past, like the Wall Street protest, okay? So right now, the retailer are making a lot of profit from there. Some, of course, some might be losing money as well. Of course, a lot of people, you see, some of them, they actually started like $50,000 and then they are making a profit about like 11 million or maybe up to millions, okay? So, of course, now back to the same thing. What happened next? So right now, some of the hedge fund, they have to close their position and cut loss. But we see that there's a lot of volume coming in the options market, which means that options is something like warrant in Malaysia market, where you can actually buy with a small premium. Okay, that is the fees for your option contract. And if let's say the price goes down, right? Let's say you enter into a put option. If let's say the price goes down lower, and you can exercise the put option by selling the stocks at the strike price. Okay, so if you want to know more about the option contracts, we have the video sharing about the warrants and also the option contract as well. So you can take a look into it. Okay, so they are entering into this because the risk is lower, because the cost is just a premium. So that is the maximum loss that you will have. Unlike the short selling, if let's say you go short selling, it's unlimited of losses. Okay, so that's why hedge fund is switching into this. And of course, in the market, all those retail investors, they are getting very happy right now because finally they are able to beat the giant in the market, the big boys. So they are targeting a few more stock from what they have mentioned. So you can have a look into this forum over here, Reddit. So I do share a bit of the at the description part over here, so you can take a look into it. But please be careful with it, because these are you shouldn't react to it on that. Okay, especially as a retail investor and or maybe a traders, we should have our own analysis into those stocks that we are investing in. Most of them that in this subreddit is they are looking to fundamental initially, and right now seems like they are not looking into that. What was their intention was that they are thinking that they want to have a fair value in the market, okay, in the stocks that they have really bought. Okay, they think that the earnings is good, so that's why they think that the price should be going up higher. But here comes the question: what is fair value? I think a lot of people in the market, they think fair value is something that if I make money, then it's fair. If I lose money, then it's not fair. All right. So in the stock market or the financial market or any market that has a price that moves, okay, that depends on the supply and demand. So from here, we see that there are a lot of demand from these stocks. That's why the price was driven up. But can they stay there? So no. If let's say you are looking into something like fair value, you should be able to gradually moving up higher. You shouldn't have such a huge price up because it's overvalued if you are looking into fundamental and also some of the financial ratio terms. From here, you can see if let's say there's a big move, price up, definitely there's someone is losing. But of course, here we can see a lot of hedge fund is losing because they have to buy back at a higher price, which might be some of the retail investors are selling to them. And I see a lot of people in the market where other countries, for example, in Malaysia market, they started off with one subreddit session as well. They call it Bursa Bets. So one thing I need to share with every one of you is that you need to understand the difference between the market. Right? Not everything you can just copy and paste and then put it into your market and use it. Okay, same like as our operator analysis. We don't plug it from other market that is successful and then we put it over here. No, we have to look into it. What are the difference and how does it actually adapt to our local market? Okay, and if let's say you just completely just doing a copy and paste thing, you might actually lose money from there. Other than that, you might actually make others lose money as well. So whatever you have done, and especially in this social media era, whatever we say, whatever we type in the social media, we actually have a big responsibility on that. Okay, you might actually make others people are losing to, because of your simple one action or whatever you say in the social media. Can we have the same thing that happens in Malaysia market, like a lot of people out there have been expecting, where that's why they're creating a lot of all these blogs and saying that all the retailers should actually group up and then make some fair gameplay with some of the institutional investors or maybe some of the big boys or the market maker. So here's the thing, like I said before, you can't copy and paste exactly everything from another market. So here are the things that you need to differentiate from. US market, the short selling volume is actually account for a huge some percentage there in the market share. But for Malaysian market, do we have short selling? Yes, but our short selling are mainly for intraday. So which means that you sell it today and then you have to buy it today to close the position today. Okay, and even for the retailers, we can't do that as well. For institutional investor, they can do something like this. So the difference between why in the US they can do something like that happens in GameStop is because the institutional investor, the hedge fund, they already enter into a short position overnight, have been a very long time ago. So when the retail investors start to push the price up higher, and the hedge fund needs to close their position by buying the stocks, the shares from the market. And that actually creates a demand. So from here, when the retail investor actually push the price up higher, and the hedge fund have to close their position, cut loss, and they have to buy back from the market. And that's where the retail investor actually can sell it to them and make a profit from there. But for Malaysian market, can we do that? Basically, we have actually very low volume of short selling in Malaysia. So this actually not able to create the same amount or same effect that happens in the US. Because in the Malaysian market, most of the institutional fund or maybe the retailer, what we do is we buy low and sell high. That's it. Because we have a very strict rules in short selling and mainly are for intraday short selling only. So imagine right now, most of you who follow this way and start to actually entering into some of the stock that have been shared in the group or in the forum. And when you enter, actually the big boys got much more happier. Why? Because you are contributing the price to go up higher. And when it go up higher, what will they do? They can just put there and sell it to you. And they actually, at the end of the day, they are making the profit. And because they don't have to close their short selling position, and they will not contribute into buying back or close their position by buying from the share market. And that's why the price will not move up higher. End up, you guys, the trader, the retailers, or the investor will get trapped inside that because you already move in and then move up higher, and that's where they start to take profit and sell it down to you. So you see the difference from here? And that's why you will see like some people will get stuck and trapped in that certain stocks. So whatever you do, all right, don't copy and paste into Malaysia market or other market. You need to actually fine-tune it, study it. You don't copy the cover of the book itself only. The content, you need to understand it very well. Or else, you get yourself and others trapped in a losing trade. All right, so that's all here for today. So I'm going to see you guys again in the next video. So hopefully that every one of you learn something from this video and understand more about the market, and don't simply look into any of this, blindly follow any of this, okay? You should have your own analysis from there. That's why the authorities has always been reminding us, okay, we need to actually study better. We need to know what is the financially things that is going around in the market, all right, before you invest into something. Okay, I'll see you guys next time.